By the time this video is released, I think the new class balances, buffs and nerfs will be released on the C servers version. I hope by the time this video is up, it will be released there. I try to keep it up so that you guys can also have a way of referencing and checking out the materials, because in this video I will not be able to show every single class's buff in action. I'll just try and show some of them, because man, 2 hours waiting. I'm too lazy for that. Alright, without wasting too much time, let's go to the list. First, I want to say a big thank you to Sergey. I'll drop a link to his channel in the description of this video. I hope you guys can see this. If it's not clear enough, I will zoom in. So Raja as well, please let me play in your servers, man, in your test servers. Come on. The Shadow Fencer received quite a couple nerfs. I'm not gonna lie, which were really needed. It's still kind of overpowered, but these nerfs are still alright. Just like the Illusionists were nerfed bit by bit, I believe the Shadow Fencer will be nerfed in time properly. So first things first was its Rose Blood Thorn skill. The damage of Moon Shadow, that's all those shadows generated by its skill, is reduced by 22%. So that's one good thing. Next is this fire buff that makes it deal quite crazy amount of damage has been reduced. Before it was 0.2 and now it has been taken down to 0.1%. Doesn't seem like much, but trust me, it is something. This class deals insane amount of damage. Still on the Fencer, the EX skills, both of them have actually received quite the nerf. The first EX, which is Sword Realm, says Sword Field here, but in the global version I think this is Realm. So you know, this skill actually removes super armor of opponents. So it has been reduced from reducing 2 seconds of your opponent's super armor to removing 1 second per tick, I guess. 2 seconds was kind of overpowered. As example is the Reaper. The Reaper super armor only lasts for 2 to 3 seconds when it uses its blue teleportation skill. This can almost completely counter that ability of the Reaper. I'm just happy it's been reduced to 1 second. Now that's just an example. This can also remove the Blademaster super armor if the Blademaster isn't lucky enough or careful enough. And also it's the reduction of defenses that it usually did, reducing defenses by 20%, has been breaking down or brought down to 15%. Also the reduction of speed. Yes, this class is broken. From 50% is now down to 35%. I don't know if it's exactly like this. I'll probably have it on the screen right now showing you guys the recent state this EX is in, but yeah, these are the changes to this class. Next and finally is the second EX, and this one has also been nerfed. This one received 3 nerfs. And the first one is its duration. Before it lasted 10 seconds, now it's just 5 seconds that it can keep you locked in this realm. And the second nerf is reducing of your opponent's hit rate. It has been reduced from 20% to 15%. And finally, this had the crazy effect of increasing the damage you receive by 50% if you try escaping from it. But now it has been changed to just a reduction of the cooldown of the EX by 2 seconds. And finally, we have the elemental skill, which is the one that helps us choose what elements of buff we want, be it the red fire buff, the blue water buff, the yellow earth buff, or the green wind buff. Before, it automatically goes straight to wind, but now it has been changed to whichever one you use last. Like let's say you use the fire buff, the next time you use this skill and you don't tap anything, instead of it going automatically to the wind buff, it will choose the fire buff that you used last. I think this is better. In the long run, this is better than just using the wind, because honestly I don't really like the wind buff. Now the Blademaster is the next class on this list, and it has received, I think, so much buff that the Blademaster is now an actual DPS machine with these buffs. I think, yes, before it had a lot of defenses, but now it has a lot of damage to go with the defenses. The first one is one of its chasing skill. The damage has been increased by 20%. Take note, this skill has about 3 to 5 seconds cooldown, so this is kind of crazy. Next is the damage of another of its skill. You can see it right here. Man, 20% increase in damage of this. Are you kidding me right now? And you have another 20% increase in damage again of another chase. Really, the Blademaster is insane. With all this damage increase, you see this right here, each of its skill has huge damage buff of 20%. Right now, the Blademaster is a class to watch out for, and I can confidently say all this damage increases has led to the Blademaster being an S class, an S ranked class. For whatever a free play or pay to win, so many skills have been buffed right now. You can see this as well. The red skill has been buffed as well. Everything damage increased by 20%. Next is the assassin. You have 3 buffs for the assassin. First is your damage has been increased by 15%. That's the damage of your skill. So you can actually deal a lot more damage with this skill you spam right here. Shadow Strike, I think. Was that the name? I don't remember. And next you have your Hunt Mark. That's when you change into your shadow form to use this dark physical skills. You can reduce your opponent's super armor by 0.5 seconds every time you hit your opponent. So I think that's what that assassin did to me the last arena, where I got frozen like crazy. So yeah, it's quite terrible. And finally, that's not over. You see, when you switch to shadow hunting, that's your dark state, you can release yourself from cage. This is the cage of the illusionist, entanglement of the Floramancer, confusion effect of the Visioneer. So these 3 classes, now I don't know if this has actually been implemented because I haven't used the assassin recently, but these are all great additions to the assassin, which can help you be quite better. The only thing I see that's an issue here is the assassin is still probably going to be a little weaker to Blademaster. I mean, yes, we have this one that reduces super armor, but I don't know if it's going to work that well against Blademasters. We will have to test it out and see. The only class that I have problem with when using assassin, and I think every assassin can relate with me here, is fighting Blademasters as an assassin is one of the most terrible things you can ever experience in Dragon Rage. Up next is the Soul Dancer, and the Soul Dancer received 2 buffs that go together. Now the first one is this your skill, the bubble or time lock, I think, can now be cast even when you are being stunned. So even when you've been stunned, you can cast this, and now you can also release yourself from cage, that's the illusionist cage, the Floramancer's entanglement, and the Visioneer's confusion effect, I believe. Yes, they have nerfed these abilities. So those players, especially the Visioneers that like caging and running, caging and keeping their distance and stuff, I'm also included in that. So players like that they really need to find a new way of playing, because the cage is not going to be as crazy as it was before. I'm guessing most of them will move to the Visioneer and the Shadow Fencer. So yeah. Next, the Soul Dancer has received a buff to their S talent. So I've actually checked the Soul Dancer, and it is this skill, Holy Fist, right here, that removes the control effect of all those 3 classes, the Floramancer, the Illusionist, and the Visioneer. Holy Fist. And if you're wondering if Holy Fist is a good skill or a good S level talent, it is. It actually gives you lots of buff that can help you in PvP. But the fact that the Soul Dancer isn't that powerful in 1v1s, except if you are crazy strong, like surpass your opponents with a lot of rating, then you can actually do something well with the Soul Dancer in 1v1s. But still, this makes this class quite good in group battles and stuff. Still great. Next is the Fighter. Fighter received only 1 buff, and I think this has been in effect for a while now, and that is this Vajra power skill of theirs that gives them super armor and buffs them up, can actually remove the Illusionist cage, the Floramancer's entanglement, and the Visioneer's chaos effect. So yeah, it can remove all that. This has been here with us for a while. Skateboarder also, funny enough, they received the buff. Now their skill, which is I think the paint armor, I'm not sure which one this is. No, I don't think it's paint armor. I think it's the intercept something. It's been a while since I used the you know what, screw it. Let's check out the Skateboarder real quick.
A few moments later.
It's paint armor! Oh my god! I knew it! So we have the paint armor removes the Floramancer's entanglement, the illusionist cage, you know, the usual, and finally the Visioneer's chaos. I don't know if I'll keep mentioning that over and over, so please just try and remember. Entanglement is for Floramancer, cage is for illusionist, and chaos is for Visioneer. So this can now remove it. The issue now is this is 30 seconds. I think the cooldown is 30 seconds or so. You need to be careful when exactly you use this. Next is the Puppeteer. They did something very awesome for the Puppeteer, and I am so happy about this because the Puppeteer was lacking in the damage, and with this it's a lot better. Now the first buff you can see is every time you hit a target, you will recover an additional 1.2% metamorphosis value. What this means is your transformation state. I think I can use this right now. The transformation state that you have right here, this stuff that's full, this stuff right here where my mouse is, it took so long for it to actually get filled up, and this is the icon you need when it's filled up. So when you use this icon, you merge with your doll and you deal way lots of damage. That's how crazy it is. You can see how slow it's charging up. This takes way too long. Most times before it's filled up, the fight is over, you're either dead or you've won. And the second stuff they actually receive is the blocking effect has been increased by 25%, so now you are a lot more tanky. This skill, that's this one right here, now it gives you buff and it will give you super armor for 5 seconds, and it can remove the cage of the illusionist. Man, you can absorb damage, especially if you tie this up with Dustbuster. You will be almost unkillable, especially if you are a whale. I can see a lot of whales using Puppeteer again. Alright, so finally the last buff for the Puppeteer deals with this skill, Mark of Fate. It's something that is triggered upon your opponent when you are actually attacking them, and it reduces their defenses. So right now it has been changed to 15% reduction in defenses for all levels. Every single level, 15% reduction in their defenses, both physical and magic defense. So this is great for team battles and single battles. The Puppeteer has just become one of the most powerful classes in the game if used properly. And the Reaper, oh my god, I know this is what a lot of people are here for, and this will make a lot of people both confused and impressed at the same time. Okay. The Reaper only has about 3 buffs added to itself, which is crazy because the buffs added to this class are quite simple, but they changed and put this class all the way up there as one of the kings of solo PvP again. So the first buff, which ties to the second, is you have a 12% increase in your Destruction Blast. If you know what Destruction Blast is, this is huge news for us right now. This is awesome. You have an increase in damage, and the casting speed of this skill is insane now. I'll show you a video of before and after this has been implemented. The Reaper is almost like the Illusionist right now as a machine gun DPS with this actual buff. And finally, the final buff they have is with Cat Tango, this red S level skill right here. Before it was 5 seconds, but right now 6 seconds is just right on the mark. You can deal so much damage in that 6 seconds with this 6-second super armor that you feel really good. It feels really good. The Reaper feels insanely good. You can tell that I love the Reaper class from how long I've talked about this.
You serious?
Alright, let's move on to the Floramancer. Now, the Floramancer received a huge nerf. The damage caused by the poison effect of one of its skills has been reduced by 20%, which makes a lot of sense. I have 4 people using this class, and to be honest, I have died not because of the damage they actually dealt, even though this class deals a lot of damage. What kills me most times is the bleed. How can you be doing more damage with bleeds than you are with your actual skills? That doesn't make sense, and I am so glad this has been reduced because that was way too crazy. Next, we also have a nice adjustment effect to the class debuff. That is the slow you get from, I think this is Vinefield. So Vinefield is the one that actually sprouts up flowers everywhere, one of the most annoying skills in the game. Now it can actually slow you down by 15%, not the usual 5%. I have noticed this in battles, and trust me, this 15% might seem small, but it is a lot. You almost feel static. If you're using the Reaper and you're slowed by this, if you switch to a clone, the clone barely moves. That's your red skill clone. So this is a very nice buff for this class. We have now it can actually buff them up by extra 10% for themselves and their allies for 4 seconds whenever it is filled up. And finally, we have this skill right here, Disappear into the Flowers, that lets you teleport to wherever your Vinefield is. It has been buffed to the point where you can actually escape from the cage and from the Visioneer's chaos and also from the fellow Floramancers and Tango. So
Nice.
now this is very good. The Floramancer has been balanced. Finally, it has been balanced properly. Next we have the Visioneer, and the Visioneer, listen, I don't think it's, you know, great at all, because all what the Visioneer has received was a reduction in these things. Yeah, I think that's been implemented. Like, let me show you guys it real quick. These skills of the Visioneer, where is it? This one that lets you switch from the red wall breaker, that lets you switch from your red states, your DJ or VR state, to your gamepad state and damage dealing state. They have been reduced. It has been implemented. They have been reduced from 20 seconds cooldown to 18 seconds cooldown. So I think that is a buff for the Visioneer. It didn't receive any nerf. The only nerf personally it received was an indirect nerf by them trying to fix this. It's freaking, where is it, chaos skill that it puts on opponents. So that's the only nerf they received, but they can now deal more damage, and this class is still quite strong. It's still strong. So those are all the buffs and nerfs that has actually been added to the game. I'm sorry I couldn't show all of them. I'm a little lazy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Now you can see that certain classes will shine a lot more, and players are gonna start switching from you know, the previous class they were using, and they'll start going back to classes like the Blademaster. Is gonna have a lot more people using it now, especially in arenas. You're gonna see a lot of people using Blademaster. Thing is, people are still gonna be flooding the Shadow Fencer, especially the whales, and also the Visioneer. These are still the two most damage dealing classes and overpowered classes in the game. We're not gonna forget the Illusionist with his DPS, but it has been nerfed a little. So things are getting better. Probably till they release the next class and everything is gonna be scattered again. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or requests, don't forget to drop them down there in the comment section. I read all of them, so I'll respond to you if needed, or make a video if necessary. Again, thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely day, guys.
A few minutes later.
Yes, and before I forget, a lot of classes were not included in this buff, but I don't know if maybe Sergio did include them in that stuff, or maybe the game developers just forgot about those classes. One of them is the Gunslinger. Yeah, the Gunslinger wasn't really included in the patch, or maybe we forgot about it. And next is the Phantom Sound. This is also a class that I think has totally been forgotten. So those two classes, yeah, nothing for you guys for now. But if you guys notice any difference in these classes, please let me know and drop them down there in the comment section. I read all of them and I will really appreciate it. Again, thank you guys.